Hey guys, Brian, and today we're going to answer the question of to bulk or not to bulk. A question not even Shakespeare could answer. I'm sure he could, but we're going to assume he can't, all right? I don't think he knew much about nutrition. So today I'm doing a bit of a solo podcast. I was going to take the bus home, but I realized the time it would take to walk there would be about the same anyways, so I figured I'd get some steps in, get a podcast going, get a good energizing start to my day after hitting the gym. Today was back day. I hit a legit 425 on the deadlift. Couldn't hit my PR at 455, but I think it's because I gassed myself out trying to do 475. But back to the question. To bulk or not to bulk? I get kind of scatterbrained. So necessarily, people assume that you either have to bulk or cut, and that lifting at maintenance is not even an option. I'm here to tell you that's completely wrong. Lifting at maintenance is an option. However, generally you want to be lean if you decide to maintain while lifting in hopes of obtaining strength gains. This is called a recomposition or a recomp, a body recomp. So the goal is, what I did personally was I got to around 7 or 8%. I'd like to say 6, but it was really closer to 7. And when I got to that point, I decided, hey, I'm going to generally eat at maintenance calories, which for me is pretty damn high. I usually have a boxing session or two on average, weightlifting session, 6 days a week or so. Keep cardio to a minimum besides my boxing because I just love it. I can't give it up. By the way, yes, cardio can kill your gains. Fucking lean X is not wrong. It can if done in excess and without proper protein intake. However, we'll get to that later. I'm not going to tell you too much for free because I'd like you to pay for my plans. I'm just kidding, it's a joke. I believe knowledge is free, however, designs and services are not. All right, back to bulking and cutting. So what I decided to do, rather than the traditional cut and bulk cycle, was I did cut and I did bulk. However, this bulk was such a slight surplus that in general, you're not going to be gaining much weight. So we'll assume maintenance most days. Some days you're eating less than your maintenance, some days you're eating higher than your maintenance, which in the end equals maintenance. And so my lifts, while lifting at my maintenance calories and keeping my protein intake to about 1 to 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, went up about 1 to 200 pounds. So to say this, I gotta say that my bench press started around 225. We're capping around 300 almost. Right now, we're hitting a legit 290. When I'm on a cut, I can hit 275. Bit of a struggle rep. And then my deadlift went from about 315 to 455. We're trying to push that 475 number, get our hips involved in the lift, whatever. And then our squat, a legit 425, it gets some half reps in at 455. Feeling pretty good about that for my weight, which is 180 pounds. And that's all doing something called Maingaining or recomp. So I would answer the question of to bulk or not to bulk as a definite no, just due to the fact that there's a bunch of negatives involved with bulking. You know, I mean, if you really care about cholesterol and all that, I'm sure, you know, eating all the excess calories, which are also likely saturated fats as well, because let's be honest, sometimes you want a good cheeseburger. You know, I'm not gonna think I'm some robot. You know, I do like cheeseburgers, I do like burritos. Burritos are actually my favorite food. However, we do have to keep those to a low when in comparison to things like, you know, clean foods, chicken, rice, broccoli, all that good shit. However, that's not to say my diet's entirely clean, whether I'm bulking, cutting, maintaining, whatever you want to call it. So what I would recommend, if you truly think that your body fat is 15% or higher as a man, or 20 to 25% maybe higher as a woman, I would say you would be probably in good position, probably in your right interest, to cut down to 5 to 6 or 7, that range, 5 to 7% lower than your current body fat. For men, this equals about 7 to 10, 12 if you're really pushing it before you decide to maintain or bulk. And then for women, get down to 18 to 20. What I'm basically saying is you want to get almost as physically lean as you can, besides like, you know, deciding to dehydrate yourself in order to like really make your muscles pop. And then once you get there, your body is in a state where it no longer wants to lose fat, for one, but it doesn't want to gain it either. It's more likely to put on lean muscle gains at a leaner body fat, just due to the fact that your body's basically become a fat catabolic, meaning burns fat as a fuel, and muscle anabolic, meaning it wants to pack on muscle. And while surely when you're gaining weight, when you're maingaining or bulking, whichever path you decide to go, I can't choose for you. You got my little bit of a beware or a warning on a strict bulk where people lie to themselves and tell themselves they'll eat 200 over, but they eat 4,000 calories to 5,000 calories a day like a psychopath while they sit on their treadmill and lift dumbbells for 5 pounds and 5 reps. So whether you decide to do that or not, you will want to be lean before you decide to do it. Otherwise, you have an intense risk of putting on more fat than muscle, having your lifts basically plateau or only go up by like 10 to 15% over the course of 3 to 4 months, which is impressive if you were advanced, if you were lifting for a while. However, I'm assuming most people listening to this are generally new, and you would really want to take advantage of this period where you can put on muscle and do it properly. You want to make sure you do things correctly now, so I'd call it a sprint. You get a lot out of the way now. That way later, you can maintain it forever. Forever. And that is a big thing. A lot of people get so caught on these 3-month diets, you know, I'll drink beer all year and I'll eat cheeseburgers and stuff my face with burritos because I can't put the fork down. And then in spring, I'll just starve myself until summer and have a 6-pack. And let's be honest, they never get it. Those type of people never get the 6-pack. Every year, they think they do. You look at them and you go, what? I was that person, truthfully. You know, I'd walk around with like a flabs and, you know, got some droopy ones going up top. And I'd pretend I was ripped. At school, I would basically choke my arms with the sleeves to pretend I had fucking arm veins, man. But now that I took the proper approach and took my time with it, turn this into a lifestyle, which I'm not saying you have to. You don't have to turn it into a lifestyle. But if you're gonna do it, make it worth your time and do it properly. Cut down to a weight where you're lean. Maintain that weight for a while to adjust your body, to adjust your metabolism. Make sure you're lifting properly and have a nice diet going. You know, I kind of don't like the word diet. I mean, I love to use it. It just sounds much better than saying way of eating or way of living or whatever, something fancy like that. And basically just make sure you have good lifting, a good diet going. Make sure you're at a lean place. And then if you truly want to, what I did was Maingain, which is very slight weight loss over a very long time. Your body's more likely to put on muscle that way because it's natural growth. It's the growth that we've been doing since we were little, where we get taller over time and we don't know what's happening. We don't grow 6 inches in 3 nights. It doesn't happen. That's not the way your body is programmed to work. So when people say, or in the essence of anything, when people say, yeah, I'm gonna bulk 30 pounds in 5 days, it's like, okay, first off, that's water. That's last night's cheeseburger. And they wonder, oh, the next day I'm 10 pounds lighter, 20 pounds. Oh, now I'm 30 pounds heavier again. And they base this as their true weight. If you want your true weight, weigh yourself in the morning, you know, after you use the bathroom. Just tell you guys that stuff. And that's your true weight. That's your body when it's basically emptied. You're not full of food yet. You're not retaining water in the muscles yet, unless you're on creatine. You know, then your muscles have some bloat to them. Which, by the way, creatine will make you look less lean for the time being if you're taking monohydrate. But if you're taking hydrochloride, you won't get that same water retention in your muscles, and you'll generally look a little more full. Point is, to bulk or not to bulk, I generally say in most cases no. Most people think they should bulk, but they shouldn't. Maingaining, which is in essence the same thing as bulking, however, it's over time. Some days you eat less, some days you eat more. And you will slowly put on weight the same way you put on height naturally as a human through your growth hormone. So that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope your fitness journeys are going well. Hopefully you're cutting and you're not lying to yourself saying you need to bulk because you want to look like LeBron James or Dwayne Johnson, Schwarzenegger, The Rock, that's Dwayne Johnson again, or Jay Cutler. You know, I don't think he will. He probably won't look like Ronnie Coleman with freaking 45-inch quads in 5 years. Maybe not even 10 years. However, make a goal realistic to you. Make a bunch of small goals to get there and expectations for yourself and meet them. To bulk or not to bulk. Out, guys. Have a good day.